Cerise here. How are you? Oh, it's a little bit of a sunny day today here in the north coast of the Dominican Republic. I'll wait for a few of you to hop on. I have a story time. And the story time that I have today is actually quite interesting, really. But I put up a story time the other day, and it was about a personal experience, but I decided to delete it. I just didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings because I know the woman personally. So I deleted it. And I thought, you know what, I don't need to express myself negatively like about this woman. And furthermore, I didn't need to give her so much shine on my channel, right? So I deleted it. And I thought I would give you guys this story time from Goddess Lounge. Hello, how are you? I have my lenses ready right here. Hey, Bertram. How are you? Holy smoly, macaroni. Haven't heard from you in a long while. Is that the same Bertram that came to my house in Sosua? And you were terrified to come over to my place? You thought my ex was gonna get you? Just friends. We were just friends, guys. Every now and again, there are really cool people who I like to invite to my house because you guys are cool and trustworthy. Jeffrey in la casa. Hola, hola para mi gente. Por favor, tú sabes.
Hola.
There he is,
Good
guys.
morning.
Jeffrey, good morning.
No, good morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes. Okay, guys. Oof. I've been tired lately. I really feel like my B12 is kind of acting up. But yeah, guys. So yeah, I deleted that story time the other day. Oof. I was lit. I was cussing and everything. It was something else. But you know, I decided that God spoke to my heart, and God was like, "Don't give her so much hate on your channel because she's just only going to give her more power." Okay, story time today. I wanted to come to you guys and give you another live story time. This one is quite interesting actually because never in my life did I think that there would be this type of deceitful people. Friends, you know, they did this man wrong. Okay, so there's 3 people involved here. Can you guys hear me? First of all, I want to make sure you guys can hear me. And let me turn this on do not disturb for a second because I'm going to be getting a lot of messages. I'm expecting somebody very soon. I'm going to go do a check-in over here at Victoria House. So I decided to come do a story time and get some work done here while I'm here. But hola. Bertram, can you hear me? Loud and clear. Black belt. Griff? Is that the same Griff? Or is that 2 different Griffs? I don't know. It seems to me that there's 2 Griffs, I think. Knowledge Born. Hola, Knowledge Born. You guys, welcome. Happy Saturday. Feliz Sábado. For those of you who don't know, Sábado means Saturday, and Feliz means happy. All right. Yeah. Sing this. Oh, this is your company, King Griff. Okay, guys. So Black Belt Griff LLC podcast is the same as King Griff. So yeah, guys. All right. Perfect. We got Griff business name and also Griff personal. All right. Good to know. Why don't you tell us what your business is one day? It looks like a podcast. Why don't you tell us one day? Maybe you and I can do a podcast together. And we can introduce your podcast. Samuel Weber. Hola. Hola hermoso. Bertram. Yes, sounds good. All right. Without no further ado, let's talk about the story time. This is three guys that came to the Dominican Republic together. But you guys know how I do. I give you a little bit of the backdrop on their personalities first and who they are. So the three men, we're going to give them fake names for confidentiality purposes. And we're going to name them Kirk. We're going to name the other one Kip, because he's a country boy, K-I-P. And we're going to name the other one Dave. Okay, so we have Kirk and Dave and Kirk, they grew up together. All of them are American men. And they grew up together in the city parts of America. Kip, K-I-P, he grew up in like down south part of America. Completely different cultures. So I think I've met a lot of Americans here. Ben, my ex-boyfriend. It's a little uncomfortable right now, but it's live to air and it's not like I can edit this out, and I haven't really seen him for a while. So he just stopped to say hello. Let's say hello. And there goes my motoconcho. So much drama. Hola.
Hola.
¿Cómo estás?
¿Muy bien?
Sí, mucho tiempo.
Why?
Be careful. La mesa.
¿Muy
¿Tú
bien?
quieres algo? Hola para mi gente.
Hola.
Hey, you guys remember Joel? Abajo para ellos. Ellos posible necesitan meditar.
Hola.
Okay. Yo aquí para el negocio. Hoy mi cliente toma apartamento aquí en Victoria. Sí, entonces yo espero para él. Él es en el aeropuerto ahora. Sí, él toma apartamento para un mes. Ujú.
¿Todo bien?
Sí, todo bien. Gracias a Dios. ¿Y tú?
Bien.
Bien, gracias a Dios. ¿Tú tienes tu carnicería?
Sí, en Cabarete.
En Gaspar Hernández. Oh, tú vives en Gaspar Hernández ahora. Oh, ok. Oh, mi favorito.
Yo ahora ya.
All right. Hablas hola para tu padre, para mí.
Ok.
Ok, y tu madre.
Aquí, ella trabaja aquí.
Oh, ya? Ok. Ok, yo llamo a ella.
Nosotros habla.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, inglés. See you later. That was Joel, my ex-boyfriend. That should have been a story. That's a story time in and of itself. Let me just fix my hair up here. Oh, at least he still has the same motorcycle that we bought when we were together. You can hear that motorcycle. And my other ex is here as well. I only have 3 of them here, so it's not like I got a whole bunch. Let me take off. I just got a little hot there. I'm joking. I'm joking. I am hot from the weather. Samuel Weather, I love your Weber. I love your channel, especially the live walks down Pedro Clasante. Thank you for the contribution. $5. Oh wow, gracias, gracias. Whenever you guys donate money to my channel, I don't even like to call it a donation. I like to call it a contribution. And the reason why I like to call it a contribution is because it contributes to people here that I know, whether it's the Colmado or a family. I even contacted somebody yesterday to ask them for a few families that they know that I can offer some donations to. I mean, I know a lot of people, but I don't want to be caught up giving all the time to everyone around me. Sometimes I want to get out of my neighborhood and hola. Sometimes I want to get out of my neighborhood and share. Okay, so hopefully no more interruptions. Let's just get on with the story time. This is what happened. These 3 guys, they come here together. So you have Kirk, you have Dave, you have Kip. Dave and Kirk are inner city youths. They're raised together. Their parents hung around each other a lot as well. So, you know, they're like brothers from different mothers. You know how that goes? So they grow up, they're in grade school together. They're like kindergarten, grade school, high school, and then they end up going to university together. Now they went to a university somewhere. I'm just trying to stop for a second because there's a motorbike making noise. But they went somewhere in Washington. Okay, a school in Washington. I'm not American, so I don't know what schools are in Washington, but they went to a university together. Now there is when they met Kip. Kip is a country guy. All of them are the same ages and they all met on campus. Now Kip himself, he comes from a very wealthy family. He comes from a very, very, very small town. He is the only black man in his town that ever got his PhD since the beginning of the town. It's a very small town. So, but he's that overachiever. His family pretty much owns the town. Very wealthy people. They own all the land, and people now move there, and they rent a lot from Kip's family as well. Now, he asked me not to speak about the town itself, so I won't say the name, but his father is very wealthy, and his father made his millions, multi-million dollars, like multi, as they say, stinking rich. His father made money from oil mines and stuff like that. So his dad's very wealthy, and Kip always promised that he would go to university and take care of himself. Now, this is the thing. Kip's mom was not supposed to get pregnant when he was younger. I mean, when she was younger, and she did get pregnant. And I see some messages coming in. I'm going to get to them as soon as I can, guys. So she was younger, and she wasn't supposed to get pregnant. She had a health condition, and they said to her that if she got pregnant, she would risk her life, her own life. But she didn't. She wanted to take that risk, and she ended up dying during her childbirth. So Kip never ever got to see his mother, and he was raised with his dad. And he was raised very well with his dad. His dad never skimped on love, never skimped on money, never skimped on anything. But Kip always felt like it was a very important thing for him to be able to take care of himself, and also be able to take care of his own family in the future without having to rely on his dad's money. And, you know, I mean, I don't know if I could be that much of a big person. I probably would have been like, oh my gosh, I don't have to do all this everyday stuff, you know. Dame mi dinero, give me my money. How many of us would have been like that, right? But mi historia. My motor control looked at me just now like, who are you talking to? But so, you know, he decided to go to university. Now he meets those guys in university, and they all hit it off. Now Kip is not embarrassed of his dad's millions, but he also did not want to be considered a millionaire or the rich kid or the kid that everybody uses for money and stuff. So when he got to university, he decided to just stay on the campus like everybody else. His dad encouraged him to go and get a house and, you know, like get people to rent the house with him. But he didn't want to do that. He just wanted to stay on the low, you know, on the down low, just do his thing. You know, and that makes sense, right? Nobody knows that he's wealthy. Nobody knows who he is. And so that was it. He's on campus with the rest of the guys, and they're living a really good life. These guys don't know that he's wealthy. So, you know, I mean, he would chip in every time. He didn't act poor. But if they were all going out somewhere, he wasn't buying everyone's drinks. He wasn't doing everything for everyone. He was just keeping a low profile. So now, fast forward into the future, and like 4 years into their relationship, because they were in university for 4 years together, all of them are best friends now. All three of them are best friends. Now Kip, they knew, was from the countryside. Dave and Kirk knew Kip was from the countryside. They never met Kip's dad at Kip's dad's house. And when Kip's dad would visit at the university, Kip would always request his dad to just kind of show up in a rental car. Didn't matter if it was brand new, just don't show up in your brand new Cadillac, you know, kind of thing, or your Bentley kind of thing. And also, Kip would also request that his dad would just kind of dress down, don't wear a suit or anything like that. So that's how these two gentlemen, Kip's best friends, met Kip's dad. So they assumed that Kip was, you know, country bumpkin kind of broke dude. You know, his family saved money for him to go to school and stuff like that. These guys didn't realize that Kip was rich, like I said. So 4 years into their friendship, their relationship, Kip's dad was always vacationing during Christmas time, always doing different things. And it's not that Kip couldn't be with his dad because his dad would always invite him on these vacations. It's just that Kip went on all those vacations all his life. So now at this point in his life, he really wanted to just be with his friends and chill out with them and get to know them more and how they live. So he would go to their families' houses and everything at Christmas and Easter and Thanksgiving. And it was really something that he enjoyed. Now, nobody really asked too much about his family life or anything. They just assumed that, you know, he was single, he was raised by a single dad, and that, you know, he maybe didn't have a good upbringing. This was all just assumptions. So now, graduation comes. Now this is going to get to the Dominican Republic. These guys, it just gets kind of weird, really disturbing. Most of these story times are disturbing. That's the reason why I tell them. But okay, so these guys, you know, they graduate. Now Kip at this point thinks, okay, he has nothing to lose. He knows these guys 4 years, and they've always been friends for they've been friends for a very long time now, and he can trust them. They're not going to judge him. So what he did was he sent out a special invitation to them, to their homes, and he said, in respect of graduation and the honors that these kids got and everything, they're going to be flown out to, you know, the other part of the country, down south, on a private jet, and they're going to be given dinner and a weekend excursion. So the university was in on it with Kip, because the university knew Kip and his financial background, because the father was always donating to the university. So the university was in on it, and they're like, yeah, you know what? They sent out the invitations, and the two boys, and not only the two boys, Dave and Kirk, but also Dave and Kirk's parents and siblings all got on this private jet, and they were all flown to South America. No, not South America, but America in the South, down south in America. Okay, so not like Guyana or anything like that, South America. Okay, so yeah, Guyana's in South America, guys. Okay, so in case you didn't know, so ¿qué tú quieres? ¿Tú quieres algo?
No.
¿Tú tienes $1?
Todavía.
Okay, sorry guys. So now they get on the plane, and they didn't say anything to Kip about this special trip because they felt Kip didn't say anything, and so they didn't want to make Kip feel bad. They get off the plane, and who's right there in front of the estate waiting for them? Kip. So they get off the plane, they run to Kip, and they're like, dude, you were invited too? Sorry, man, didn't want to say anything about this excursion with the fam because you weren't invited. We thought it was just a family thing. We didn't want to make you feel uncomfortable. You know, there was no invite for you. And Kip's like, don't worry about it. I get it. Come on inside. Let me show you around. Now, as soon as they walked in, there's pictures of Kip on the wall from childhood all the way up to graduation. And they didn't notice that because, of course, not everybody walks into a house and looks at the pictures immediately. Sometimes they just look, especially if it's like a mansion. Sometimes you just want to look around at the beauty of it all at first, you know. So then they walk through the house, and Kip's like, so what do you guys want to do? You want to go down by the lake? You know, you want to go by the pool, have a few drinks? And of course, Dave and Kirk are like, let's go by the pool first. And so he's like, all right, they go by the pool. And he's like, there's the bar over there. Help yourself, guys. The music's right there. And if you're hungry, there's some snacks in the fridge. And they're like, what are you, the butler here? Like, since when did you get a job here? And he's like, job? He's like, this is my house. And they're like, this is not your house. And he's like, okay, no, it's not my house, but this is where I was raised. And they were like, well, what, is your dad the butler here? And he's like, no, my dad is the owner of this place. And then they were like, how is that? Like, and they couldn't tie the two and two together. And they thought he was just a broke pocket all that time, right? And he's like, oh, guys, you know what? It just is what it is. And then the guys were like, what do you mean it is what it is? You never told us? And he's like, what's there to tell? It's my dad's money. And they're like, but you never invited us here? And he said, well, this is why. I don't want anything to change about our friendship. Like, are we not a brotherhood here? And they're like, yeah, okay, whatever. So then immediately he started to feel a coldness from them. Now they graduated. They were no longer in in university any longer. So it really didn't bother him much anyway, because Kip is the type of dude that he's focused on the future and moving forward. So he wasn't planning on chilling with those guys much anyway, because he was now going to go into the workforce. He got hired on in Canada, where I'm from, and he moved downtown Toronto. He bought himself a beautiful building. Because he thought he's going to be on contract in Toronto. He might as well do a little bit of business. So he bought himself a 3-story building, and there's 2 apartments on each floor, and he put them on Airbnb. So he fixed them all up, made them like beautiful lofts, and it was gorgeous. Now, there was some time that passed, and like a couple of years, and the guys never contacted him, ever. He tried to reach out a couple of times to see what they're doing, what they're up to, but they would just get back with like 1-word answers and stuff like that. So he could tell that they were angry at him. And really at the end of the day, who are they to be angry at him because he didn't want to tell them that he had money? It's none of their business. So he realized that, you know, money did get involved between their friendship. And hold on, guys, I got to ask my motor control if he wants something, because he doesn't have anything. 2 kitties, Elgo. Algo. Tú hablas con ella, por favor. Por favor. ¿Tú no quieres comida?
No.
¿Tú no quieres agua?
Si de otra soda con limón, sí.
Ok. Posible leche caliente.
No, a mí no.
Es bueno para constipation. Constipated. Like I really need to tell everyone that, sorry. So yeah, these guys let money come between their friendship, which is ridiculous, because when you have a good friend, it should never matter if they have money or if they're broke. Well, these guys let it bother them because they felt like he was keeping secrets. But I disagree with them, because you know why? Again, it wasn't his money, it was his dad's money. And not only that, it's not like one of them were in need of money. It's not like one of them were got hit by a car and needed money for operation, or one of their parents were sick, because in America you guys have to pay for your health care. In Canada we don't. So I'm just using that as an example. Nothing ever traumatic happened, like where he had to reveal that he had money. Okay, so now, you know, here he is, he's living in Toronto, he's renting out his duplex, everything's good and everything. One day these guys contact him out of the blue, and they're like, hey dude, you know, we're all taking a trip down to the Dominican Republic. We want to know if you want to come. Now, he wanted to say no, because he's so busy working, and he also has, you know, vacations all the time. He just takes his private jet if he wants to. Hola, Anthony. Mwah. He can just take his private jet if he wants to go anywhere, right? But he was like, all right, you know what? Let's go. And he didn't pay for their trip or anything. He asked them. They said it was a group trip, and they said everyone's putting in $5,000. Now, because he doesn't usually take trips and like, you know, all inclusive or anything, he doesn't know how much trips are going to cost. But they told him $5,000. You all know that that's a lie. There is no plane ticket that's going to cost $5,000 to get here, right? So anyway, he just didn't know. He didn't bother looking it up online either. He said to me, he's like, you know, Cerise, I just decided to trust them. I didn't think that they would be evil. All right, moving forward. They get here, and they arrive, and they're at the airport. And he's like, so where's the shuttle bus? Doesn't a shuttle bus pick everyone up? And they're like, oh, no, we rented a villa. And the villa is $3,000 for the week. That's a lie. Villas do not go for $3,000 a week at all, unless they are like amazingly beautiful. And you can even get villas for $10,000 a week in like Seahorse, I heard, or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't even know if it's $10,000 a month or $10,000 a week. I don't know, but you can get villas here that are that price. But the one that they got was just a 3-bedroom house with a private pool and el bate. There's no way you're going to pay $3,000 for a week. So they ripped him off there as well. These are his own friends, okay? So then, you know, they were only there for a week, 7 days. So the second day they're there, and they tried to set him up with a chick, but he wasn't into all that. You know, they often called him homosexual and everything like that because he wasn't the dude that's going to go with just any girl. He also has to watch his millions, right? He has to be careful who he goes with because any girl could grab his heart, take his heart, and then take his dollars. So he wants to make sure it's a proper girl. Well, they're trying to set him up with some girl, and he didn't want her. So then he, you know, he wasn't really a heavy drinker or anything like that. They're heavy drinkers, and they changed a lot in the years that he wasn't hanging around them. And it was just the three of them on vacation, and they told him that it was going to be a group of people. Now, he wasn't complaining. He was just going with the flow because he knew if he complained at all, they would say to him, oh, that's just because you're the rich kid, you know, whatever. So he didn't complain about anything. And then one morning, it was like about 3 days in, one morning he decided he was going to get up early and go to the beach, Playa Sosua. So he walked down to Playa Sosua. It was empty on Playa Sosua. He takes off his clothes, you know, just his, he decided to go in the water. Maybe he shouldn't have skinny dipped. I don't know. But you can skinny dip in Playa Sosua early in the morning. I have. And Playa Sosua early in the morning. It's nice to you know, swim with no clothes on in the water. So, or even in the river, you know. But this was apparently early in the morning. And this was a while ago, way before the state of affairs right now going on around the world. So he goes into the water. Now, on the beach, he left his fanny belt, you know, your little man purse or merce, they call it. He left that, and in that was his keys for the house and also just some extra money in his wallet, right? So that was it. He goes into the water, and now he is a distance swimmer. But he said this one, he didn't go out too far. He just went under the water a lot, looked for some shells and stuff like that early in the morning on Playa Sosua. Sometimes you can find little cool shells that you won't find later on during the day because the water washes it over during the night. So that's what he was doing, just looking for a few things, little trinkets. And then he decided that he was, you know, getting hungry. He left the water and his stuff was all gone. And he was like, shoot, he should have known better. But it wasn't a Dominican that did it. No, his own friends did it. In any case, and he didn't know this at the time. So here he is, he gets out of the water, all his clothes are gone, he's butt naked. So he goes back into the water and he's waiting for someone to come, but now he's freezing. No one's coming along the beach. No one really arrives on Playa Sosua until around 7:30, and those are the people who own the vending places, that own the restaurants and stuff like that, because they have to open up for the day. So he's like chilling out. He decides to get out of the water, and he just decides to cover himself up with sand, you know, around his pee-pee area and everything. So he's sitting there and he's waiting. He sees someone and he calls him over, and he's like, Pedro, come here, you know, type of thing. So the guy goes over to him, not Pedro, Jose, we'll say Jose. And then so Jose goes over to him and he's like, Jose, you know, like someone took everything. And Jose, the Dominican's like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, like where was your stuff? And he's like, on the beach. And he's like, you shouldn't leave your stuff on the beach. And then Jose's like, well, this is strange though, because no one really steals this early in the morning. Are you sure you weren't with anyone? And he's like, no. And he's like, and I didn't see who it was because I was in the water. And Jose's like, okay, don't worry about it, I'll be right back. Jose went to one of the stores, got him some swimming trunks, like, because on Playa Sosua you can buy swimming suits and stuff like that. He went over there, he grabbed the swimming suit, and then he went back to the beach and he gave it to Kip. Now, he also offered Kip a ride home, and he's like, you know what, let me take you back to your villa just to make sure you're good. And so Kip said, okay. When they got back to the villa was emptied out, robbed, and his friends were nowhere to be found. And he found that so strange. So, and all the pipes were missing, like there was things in the house that just were broken apart, like damaged. So he went to the safe because he realized he's gonna have to get a flight out and he's gonna have to call the police. So right away, he didn't have his cell phone, he didn't have anything, because of course the cell phone was in his fanny pack. So then the police were called. Jose called the police were called, and the police, they looked at Kip and they're like, You know, they really believed him. And they're like, okay, we'll call the owner of the house. The owner of the house, the police knew the owner of the house because obviously it's El Bate. I even know the owner of the house. You know what I mean? Like, I've worked with that owner of that house before as well. And so the owner of the house was called, and the owner's like, I didn't rent this out to anyone. Like, someone broke in. And then they looked at Kip and they're like, someone broke in. Where's all the furniture? The owner's like, where's all the furniture? Where is everything? Everything is gone. Like, what's going on? And so the police actually believed Kip. Kip didn't mention anything about his money. He didn't say, oh, here, I'm going to pay for this, I'll pay for that, and get out of the problems and leave. No, because Kip was also worried about his friends and where they could have been at that moment. Like, if they were gagged and taken away, you know? So Kip was like, okay, you know what? Just take the report, do what you have to do. You know, whatever needs to be replaced. When my friends come back, we'll all sit down and we'll talk about what needs to be done. So then the police officer's like, okay, what are your friends' names? And so obviously he gave his friends' names, right? Not realizing that his friends were really the culprits. Like, I know, spoiler alert, but I mean, it is what it is. And his friends were setting him up, like, big time. And then, you know, he decides that, oh, his passport was gone. He goes into the safe and his passport's gone, completely gone. And I guess his friends didn't think that he was going to call the police. I don't know what his friends thought. But in any case, so he decides that, you know, he calls his dad. And his dad's like, I'm coming for you right now. Right? Like, that's it. And he's like, no, Dad, don't come for me right now. Let me deal with this. I'm just letting you know I'm okay. Let me deal with this. I'm with a couple of officers. Now, the officers offered him a place to stay. Now, this is true Dominican culture. And when they love you and they believe you and they trust in you, they will give you the shirt off their back. They will invite you into their home and give you their bed so you can sleep comfortably, and a meal so you can eat as well, right? And that's what they did to him. They didn't know who he was. They just trusted him. So the police officer said, listen, you know, all your belongings are gone. Everything's gone. You know, if you like, you can stay at my sister's place. She owns a condominium building here. She rents it out to foreigners, and we'll see if we can get you a discount for the night. And they did. They gave him a good discount. So now we have the police officers, the two police officers, and then we also have the owner of the house, and then we also have Jose. These four people really believed in Kip. And Kip never had been in the Dominican Republic before. And on top of that, at this moment, he did not speak a lick of Spanish at all. So he felt a little stuck at first, but then, you know, Jose spoke English because he works on the beach and everything like that. So he used Jose as his translator. You know what? He booked a flight to go home for the next day because he didn't want his dad to go get him or anything like that. He knew that he was going to be getting his new passport rushed in. I guess when you have that type of money, all the connections just kind of come together. So here he is, and he decides he's going to stay a little bit longer. And he's like, you know what? Why leave? You know, he wants to deal with the owner of the house properly, and he also wanted to make sure his friends were okay. He didn't hear from Dave, he didn't hear from Kirk, and he knew that they were booked to leave in the next few days, right? Because they were all supposed to leave. They only booked a 7-day trip. So, and he couldn't get a hold of them. He bought himself a brand new cell phone and everything, and he got himself a Dominican number. He did everything to get in touch with them. He even contacted them on Facebook. He contacted their families to see if everything was okay, and he couldn't get in touch with them. So, well, what happened was the police officers were 2 steps ahead of him, and the police officers already put their names in the system to have them flagged before they leave the country, right? So they were going to have them flagged, like their passports flagged by their name. If they when those names show up at the airport, they were going to get pulled aside. So said, so done. They had the audacity to not even talk to Kip for the rest of the vacation. You know, I mean, yeah, they didn't bring him here and kill him, like probably what their first plan was. They probably felt like, you know what, they just wanted to torment him. But why? Why do that to somebody just because they're wealthy? In any case, that's what they did. They brought him here, left him here, and on their way home, they both got arrested. They got pulled over, and they asked the police officers asked them, do you know this guy? And they showed a picture. Now, they took a picture of Kip on their cell phone, okay? And they were going to be using that at the airport for when these guys come. So they found the two guys, and the two guys were leaving together on the day that they were supposed to. Like, are they crazy? In any case, the police officer held up the cell phone and said, do you know this guy? And they said, no. Right? And they said, well, this guy was found dead. Are you sure you don't know him? You arrived together. And they're like, no, he's dead? Oh, wow. Now, what I take from that story is I think they probably set him up to get killed, right? And I think that's why they left the house. I think that's why they even brought him here in the first place. But they probably, you know, they could have even paid someone or whatever, right? Oh, let me not give all the story away. Okay, hold on. Okay, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. They were at the airport and they're like, no, we don't know him. We don't know him. Why? What happened to him? And the officer said, he's dead. Right? And they're like, oh, well, we don't know. We don't know him. And they're like, you didn't arrive together? You don't know him at all? And they're like, no. And the police officer said, okay, come on, we have to take you down to the station. And they're like, why? Why? We don't even know this guy. And then, so they already had everything. I got to tell you, you guys think the Dominican Republic is, you know, behind the times. They're not. The Dominican Republic, they have cameras everywhere as well here. And they will catch someone if they're doing something. They will get caught. And if they don't get caught, someone is going to tell on someone. Just like in this story, these guys got told on. What they did was they were at a bar. Before the trip, these guys been coming down to the Dominican Republic all the time, okay? And they haven't been here for many years, but they were coming down here all the time. And so before the trip, they asked a junkie, right, a crack addict, to kind of take their friend's life. And the crack addict agreed. They gave them a little advancement. They treated them good on that trip. And then they came back with Kip. So that is the story. And how Kip found out was through the crack addict. So now, once they are in the station, these two guys are in the station, they start talking, and they're like, the police ask them, what are you doing? Like, you're lying. You're with these guys. The police has all the evidence against them, how they showed up at the airport together on that day and everything. And the police said to them, you know this guy, where is he? Like, I mean, who killed him? And then they were like, we don't know, we don't know. And they started to, like, you know, cry. They got locked up. A couple of days later, news got around what was going on and everything, because underground here, it's like the ant world, and we hear everything. Like those of us who are actually in the native neighborhood, not necessarily in the foreigner neighborhood, us who live in the native neighborhood, we catch a lot of information like a fish net, you know, and then things get through the net and they go to the foreigner neighborhoods, but the foreigners don't know half as much as what we know in the hood. And so anyway, word got around, and that crack addict went back to the police station and told everything, and told on how these guys sat down with him, told the whole entire story. Now that's what they brought him here for. They brought him here to kill him, right? And so they ended up, you know, getting in big trouble and everything. They tried to pay the police off, and they couldn't, okay? So every time we hear that, oh, that person did this, they paid the police off. No, the police can't be paid off every time, and especially not something as serious as this. So now they locked him up, obviously, the two guys up, and I don't know what happened after that. Kip does not know what happened after that. They never contacted Kip again. Kip is not interested in the women here, like in the nightlife here. He's not interested in much here, but he did find a woman here, and it was one of the police officer's sisters. And not only that, Kip has been coming back constantly. Now he's friends with some politicians here. He's friends with a lot of the police. Every single time he comes back, He's not extravagant. You wouldn't even know. Some of you guys might even know Kip. You wouldn't even know he's a millionaire unless you sit down with him and like after 15 minutes, you hear him talking about cryptocurrency, you hear him talking about a whole bunch of, financial investments and stuff, and you kind of put two and two together that this guy's not your average cat, right? And then when you get to know him more, he will actually give you investment ideas, and then he will let you in on the fact that, yes, he's well off, but he will also let you know that it's his dad. But that's not right away. He doesn't tell everybody everything. I guess you do have to be careful. You have to make sure that no one is, trying to mafioso you when you have that type of money and you want to live an average lifestyle. So in any case, the guys did go to jail. Kip doesn't know exactly what happened afterwards, and he doesn't want to know what happened afterwards. The officers asked him if he wants to know, and he's like, you know what, I don't. It's too painful, too hurtful to know that your university brothers brought you to an island to have you killed. Can you imagine that? And it didn't. They're not going to do that. There was one dude one time before, I heard this story before as well, a little differently. My ex told me that he was sitting at a bar with his friend many years ago, like 10 years ago, and a gringo, a foreigner man, went up to him from Germany and went up to him and said that if he would pay them if they killed his best friend. Get that. And so my ex and the guy was like, okay, and they took the money. And that was it. And then the guy went up to them the next day and said, like, where's the money? Like, why didn't you do anything? And they said, why would they? They just robbed the dude. They're like, why would they do that? And I said, why didn't you just go to the police station and tell them that that German dude actually wanted to kill his friend and wanted you guys to do it? My ex was like, oh, because they do it all the time here. And it's better not to rat because that German guy can have them killed next. I was like, oh my gosh, that's some serious story right there. And how he told me, the reason why my ex even told me 10 years later when I was here, we were going down the street and my ex said, see that guy right there? And I looked and I'm like, yeah, he was riding I won't say what he was riding because he still is here on the streets of Sosua. And I don't know if him and his best friend made up or if his friend is actually dead or went back to Germany. I have no clue. It's none of my business, so I don't even want to say what type of car he drives. Let's just keep that on the down low. But I see him all the time. And every time I look at him like, my gosh, you would have been a murderer. Or were you a murderer? You got maybe someone else to kill your friend, So yeah, I've heard that type of story here before, and it's not a very good story. It's kind of disturbing, So that's what these guys were trying to achieve. And it's not so far out. It really isn't so far out. And sometimes people do that all around the world. I was watching a true crime story the other day, and a man and a woman went together on their honeymoon on a trip, and they went scuba diving, and the new husband took the whatever off the wife and scuba diving, like snorkeling, not scuba, I don't know what the difference is, but yeah, scuba diving is when you go down far. And that's what they did. And he took her mask off her, like he just took her whole, or he unscrewed her tank or whatever, let all the air out or did something like that. She ended up dying. Imagine, people take other people to countries like this, islands like this, in order to get rid of their life. And that is so disturbing. Oh my gosh. So anyway, that almost happened to this guy. When he said to me, Cerise, he feels so thankful. So this is his new home. Now he's already learned Spanish over the years. He lives here part-time. Again, a lot of you guys probably even met him before. He invests in a lot of things undercover. Okay, he doesn't talk about any of the charity things that he does. Ever. You will never see his name anywhere. He sent me a whole bunch of pictures of himself with politicians and heavy, serious politicians here. And he sent me a lot of pictures of him with police officers and stuff like that, And a lot of people do that. They like to take photos with police officers and everything and politicians. But this guy really is the real deal. And his life was almost taken. And the Dominican people helped him. And yeah, those two other guys, no one really knows what happened to them, and he doesn't want to know. So at the end of the day, I gotta say, he has a new love for the Dominican people very much. And it's interesting the decisions that other people make in order to hurt other people's lives. It's jealousy and envy. My gosh, it will definitely steal, I think, anybody's mind, anybody's character, anybody's soul. So we do have to be careful not to be jealous of anyone. And that story time comes to us from Sosua, but right now I'm in Cabarete, and I'm going to read some of these comments. Tomorrow I'm going to be in Sosua. I'm going to have my live to air on Playa Sosua. I promised you guys that I'm going to come at you every single Sunday. And even if it's raining, I'm still going to do live to airs because I want to make sure I keep my promise to you as much as I can. You guys know I do get busy. And yeah, I want to say I love you. Thank you for subscribing if you haven't already. I'm going to look at some of these comments and make sure you hit that like button so I know what content you like. All right, let me see here. Let me go back to some of the messages. Thank you, Samuel, again for that contribution. Shay Star, laughing my A off. How are you? Jay Smith, what are you guys laughing at? Rubbing my hands. Hello, my friend. You sound good. Yes, same as this company. Okay, I think I missed one of the laughs there. But if you guys are laughing, I'm laughing with you. You guys know I miss some of these comments sometimes. And then Hot 75 Rod. Hola, Cerise, you look very nice with your orange lipstick. Well, thank you. Is it orange? Is that what it looks like on the camera? I guess I'll wear it a lot then. Thank you. I just bought it today. Hey, Dano. Hi, Cerise. Feliz Sabado. I see you're back at your old stomping grounds at the Goddess Bar, my favorite happy hour spot. The weather looks amazing. Hey, Dano. Yes, I am here today in Cabarete. I'm checking in a guest for 1 o'clock. He should be here. And let me see if he's arrived. Nope, his phone still is not on. But yeah, I'm here just waiting, and I'm gonna go check him in. And then I'm gonna go meet with the landlord and give her money for another for another tenant. Busy day. And today I also had a meeting with one of the gentlemen that owns the brand new condos here in Cabarete, and we're gonna be dealing some business there, get some things sold. And Samuel, LMAO, Marcus, LMAO, I love you. I love you too. What are you guys all laughing at? Oh, my ex? Maybe when my ex showed up? That was kind of awkward. But I guess it's my personality, I forgive and I forget and I love very deeply. And even when I saw him, I have no feelings for him emotionally, and I'm so thankful that we're not together. But at the same time, I'm also thankful that he's well and he's living in Jasper Hernandez. And then I'll just call you King Griff. Black Belt Griff LLC podcast. You guys make sure you check out that podcast. Google them, or maybe King Griff, you can leave your link right here in the comments because I'd like to check out your podcast. It says, damn, sounds like they were just some evil haters. Yes, Samuel, sand, laugh out loud. How? I know, I guess he must have buried his middle part in the sand. And then Black Belt Griff LLC podcast. Thank you for the $5 contribution. Thank you, you guys. You guys are amazing. You guys know this money's pushing it forward. I love to pay it forward to people when I'm out and about. Always, always, always. And it always will go to a Dominican or a Haitian. Like, for instance, the other day, I was here on the live to air and I got a contribution. And I think it was the other day I was here. Yes, it was. And I got a $15 contribution. So when I got back home to Los Charamicos, my old motor poncho in Los Charamicos, he had an accident a few weeks ago, and he's in a cast for 3 months. And there's nobody really in his life that's going to feed him every day. It's tough, right? And also make sure that he gets his pills, but the pills are not very expensive here, and he doesn't ask for very much. But the other day when I got home, I paid it forward, and I got one of his friends to go buy him food, like secretively, and then I told the guy keep the change. So, but I still got a message from Wowo, my moto concho, before, and he got back to me and he's like, thank you so much for the food, Cerise. So thank you so much for the contribution, guys. It does go around to other people. And Jamil Edwards says, at Samuel Weber, imagine packing hands full of wet sand on yourself like it's concrete mix. Exactly. That's exactly what he was doing. And then Black Belt Griff for how much? 10,000. What a bunch of bums, right? Right? Like, come on now. Shaystar, oh my God. Samuel, dang, that's crazy. And then who's this right here? Osaurus. Sorry. You guys can see me squinting with the glasses on. I need a new pair. Dollar store. Laugh out loud, laughing my ass off. That's what you get for trusting a crack addict. Or crackhead, right? Jamil, that's the #1 reason why people with money keep quiet about it. Loose lips will sink your ship. Bam. Russell Rush. Blessings from the Bronx, Queen. Blessings, King. Samuel, I think they hated him because maybe they lived poor in college and he never tried to assist with helping them. You know, that's a very, very keen observation, because a lot of the times they would want to rent cars and go travel on the weekend, and you know, and he wasn't that type of guy. He was never a drinker, even in university. So they would always, you know, plan trips without him, thinking that he didn't have money. And he didn't mind that they would ostracize him sometimes. He just let them go. But I think if they probably would have thought, man, if we only knew you had that much money, you know, university would have been lit, you know, like the real Alpha Phi Beta or whatever it's called. Okay. We have a couple of more messages here. Jahar, awesome story. I felt I was watching a movie. Thank you. Jamil, I see you're still wearing that APRO chrono. Yes. Gift from my son in Toronto for my birthday. I think it was a year ago. Oh, my neck is still hurting me too. A little bit, guys. My neck is hurting me. From, you know, my own experience the other day, my own story time that I put up, and then I took it back down. Like I said in the beginning when I opened up here, I took the story back down because I didn't want to give that girl so much shade, because when you do it publicly, it just ends up giving her, you know, recognition. So I decided not to do that. And at the end of the day, I decided that I'm going to be the bigger person. And I'm still not going to say hi to her on the street. I'm still not going to have her approach me. And if she does approach me at any time, I will still make sure I have, you know, my police officer friends on speed dial. And not because I am fearful, because I'm not. I don't fear. I have faith all the time in God. All the time I have faith that life will unfold according to how it should. But more because she's in a foreign country and I'm in a foreign country, and when foreigners fight, they both get taken to the police station, no matter who's in the right or who's in the wrong. Both of them get put in the police station, and both of them have to tell their stories. And I saw the way that this woman talked the other day at the bar that we were at, and how her mouth kind of just slithered out like a snake, like the lies were just coming out. I don't want to get caught up in that, and I don't want to hurt anybody either, because I'm just not a fighter. Like, I'm just not a violent person. I'm one of those people that if I even hurt a fly, I think about it afterwards. If there's a bee in my house and I'm terrified of the bee, I try to shoot it out, because I know bees are important to our world, you know. So I'm that person. I love animals. I cannot imagine myself hurting somebody, one of God's children, even if they are acting like the devil. So I had to throw that in. But that's that, you know. So she doesn't go on the beach too much because it's not her thing. But if I do see her ever on the beach, then I will make sure that I have one of my guys on speed dial, and they know that I'm, you know, preventing anything from happening before it gets a little overboard. Because when alcohol gets involved and people don't have control over it, it does get kind of crazy. But, you know, that's what it is. I just want to say to you guys, today is a beautiful day right here in the Dominican Republic. I am in Cabarete. There's a lot of places for you to move to here in Cabarete, but they're doing something very special with Cabarete that a lot of people don't know right now. And this should be something, this is something that you should know if you do love Cabarete or if you're thinking about buying in Cabarete. Right now, you can buy land in Cabarete at pretty good prices, probably half price than Sosua. Oh, maybe a quarter price of Sosua, especially if you buy more over by Sabaneta. And these pieces of land are going for sale right now, and you can just hold on to it even if you don't want to build. The reason why I'm saying this is because there's one street across from me. I don't know if the camera's going to move too much or if you guys are even going to see what I'm looking at. But across from me is where there is a lagoon. And this lagoon is behind. So Cabarete is one street pretty much. It has two main neighborhoods. It has one neighborhood called Callejon de la Loma, and that's more of the native neighborhood. So you'll find a lot of Dominican and Haitian families there and some foreigners. But then you have another neighborhood called Procab, and that neighborhood there's not even a colmado there, like a corner store in that neighborhood, and you're not allowed to really go down there on motos unless you are delivering food, unless you're delivering a person. Motoconchos are not really allowed there too much, and they're allowed there, but if you live there and stuff like that, right? They don't want the loud motos going up and down Procab. There's a board that runs Procab, and they want it to be quiet and peaceful and very nice. So that's one area there. Now, it can be expensive, but it's also quite reasonable if you want to rent there. There are a few places there for sale, and you can build. I know a few people that built there last year. You do have to be careful of the water, the lagoon, and some of the places in Procab. I'm not saying all of them, so this should not frustrate you or thwart you from trying to buy a place there at all. It's just that you have to be very careful. I lived in Procab for 3 months, and I couldn't wait to leave Procab. You do need a vehicle or some type of a motorcycle, like, you know, to get you in and out of there, or if you have a reliable motoconcho, or if you like to walk. But if you're like me and you just like to get up and go, then you are going to need a vehicle. Otherwise, you're going to be all the way walking all the way down a huge path. It's beautiful. It's quiet in Procab. It's perfect. The streets are lined with palm trees. You know, look it up online. Look up at some of my videos and just put Cerise Fairfax Procab. Maybe you'll see some videos of when I lived there. It's a nice area. But those are the two main areas here in Cabarete that are very made up, like very well inhabited, like they're very residential areas, so to speak. Now, behind those areas are lagunas. It's like a lagoon. The lagoon goes all the way the back around Cabarete, so it's quite beautiful. But there's so much land that you don't see it, and it's very difficult to get to it if you are not familiar with Cabarete. And you might not want to go to those back roads if you're not familiar with Cabarete, because there's really nothing back there once you get back there except residential homes. Now what they're going to do is block off this main road, okay, in time. I heard it from one of the builders here. They're going to block off the main road, and they're going to start building up in the back, and that's where people are going to drive through. So it's going to become more like different streets and roads like how we have Sosua. So I think that's quite exciting. But That's an insider tip. I only heard it from one builder, but of course he's a Dominican guy, and he built right over here where the road's going to go behind his place. So obviously he's been told the truth, and obviously he knows something. So I'm just encouraging you guys, if you can buy something, sit on it right now. Even if you can just buy something and rent here when you come here. The same building where I'm talking about right now, the guy's selling them at his condos. Right now, they're starting at 80 for a 2-bedroom, but the prices are negotiable right now. He's just waiting for an appraiser to go in there to give him the proper price. And, there's somebody that I know that wants to rent 2 apartments in that place and use it as an Airbnb. He doesn't want to purchase them. He just wants to rent them out because he can let them go at any time. And he wants to rent them out like daily rates and weekly rates. And once it's furnished, he could probably rent out that 2-bedroom right across from the beach at probably, $1,000 a month, $900 a month, right? And he's going to be renting it out for $650 a month. So, he's going to make about $300 on one a month, $300 on another, and that's going to be passive income for him, $600 a month, and he saves that up, and that's his everything. Hold on. ¿Todo bien?
Sí, ya.
¿Mucho dólar?
No, ya no.
¿No más?
No.
Okay. ¿Tu caca?
Poco.
Poco? Okay. Tu caca. He's not constipated any longer. My motoconcho is like a son, an adopted son. No, not really, actually. But, ¿tú no quieres jugo de naranja? No? Okay. So that's it, guys. Just want to say, purchase out in Cabarete. You're pretty safe to do so as long as you, are looking to invest. This is a great investment. I love Sosua. You guys know I love Sosua very much, but there's not a lot of places in Sosua to buy that are within someone's budget. Like land itself can go for 200 and something thousand, 300 and something thousand in some places, like land itself. And this place here, you can get it for 46, 50,000 for Plata land. Obviously you can get land a lot cheaper than that, like in all around, right? But Cabarete is like Sosua, beach town, foreigner friendly, very down to earth, and also reasonable, beautiful. And a lot of people like to come out here and rent Airbnbs because they want to be near the beach. A lot of you guys want to buy homes and buy property in Puerto Plata City, and I understand that because it's reasonable, it's cheap, and you might feel like you're getting a good deal. But then once you are back in America or Canada or Germany or France or Italy or Russia or wherever you're from, you might find it a little difficult to rent it out as an Airbnb. The reason why most people want to afterwards change their mind and come to Sosua. It's a common story. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I went to Santo Domingo. I don't know why. I missed the boat. I should have went to Sosua my first trip. And a lot of people make that comment to me. So if you don't know where you want to go and you've been looking at the Dominican Republic as an option to come here to vacation with the possibility of retiring in a tropical country, you really want to check it out, I would say first come to the beach towns. First come to Cabarete, come to Sosua. And Puerto Plata, you can still make it to Sosua in 20 minutes, right? But if you are here in Cabarete, you are going to be able to get your bearings really quickly. As soon as you get off the plane, you are boots on the ground. It's a smaller area to figure out and navigate, and it's more English speaking. And if you ever need a doctor, there's doctors here. There's a hospital in Sosua. There's clinics here. There's blood clinics here, pharmacies, banks, bakeries, restaurants, like a resort type of apartments and everything. There's beautiful beaches here. Cabarete is lined with beaches. It's a coastline town, a beach. And same thing with Sosua. Sosua has a lot of beaches as well. The other day, someone asked me, what do I like better, Sosua or Cabarete? And me, I like Los Charabitos. You know, that is the hood of Sosua. That is the barrio. That is the neighborhood of Sosua where most of the locals are. Now, there's other neighborhoods where locals live, like Los Castillos,
Los Castillos.
Las Castillo, Los Castillo, and then there's Los Cerros. Los Cerros is no mucho. Los Cerros is más gringos.
Sí, mucho gringo.
Mucho gringos. So Los Cerros is more foreigners. But you have Los Castillos. I mean, you have, La Mulata is more foreigner as well. La Mulata, más foreigner. Sí. Gringo. Sí. So, I mean, when you guys come here, my suggestion is this. Sosua or Cabarete. You can't go wrong. You can pick one or the other, but you can't go wrong if you pick one or the other. Because you're only 15 minutes from one or the other, and you can easily change your mind. You're looking at Santo Domingo or Sosua. That's a huge difference. If you're looking at Santiago or Sosua, that's a huge difference. I would say get to the beach town first, get to know a few people here, walk around, get your bearings straight, and then take a road trip to Santiago where you can get on a bus for a couple of hundred pesos and 200 pesos, I think it is, and you can go for the day. 200 pesos is $4 American. It takes 2 hours to get there, and it's safe. It's a beautiful bus. It's very much like the buses back in North America. You know, the ones that we travel back and forth for travel and everything? Well, in Toronto, we have one called Greyhound. And I know in New York, you guys have one called Megabus, but that's a 2-story bus that I know Megabus to be. So don't think about the 2-story ones. Just think about the 1-story coach. Beautiful buses. There's TVs. Only thing you really do have to do, and this is some serious tip here, so don't forget this. Put on a jacket on that bus, or bring a blanket on the bus too, because it's a hot country, and it is a wonderful bus, and they have strong air conditioner because they want people to have a comfortable ride. They don't want people to be hot, rolling down the windows, out the windows and stuff, so they put it cold, and it is cold. Metro or Caribbean tours. So you want a blanket or you want a t-shirt. Aside from that, you can also go to the capital, which is Santo Domingo, 4 hours from Sosua, and that's 400 pesos, and that's $8. And you can just get on the bus and go there and have a very good time, and see what you like, and then get back to Sosua either the next day or the same day. I went on a bus to Santo Domingo early one morning, like 7 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning or something. It took 4 hours. I went to a spa appointment, like a specialist, and because now that I'm getting a little bit up in my maturity, I'm noticing some wrinkles, and I want to combat it by getting facials and stuff like that, and get things picked and poked and stuff like that, stimulate it, micro needling and everything like that. And so they really have really good experienced people in Santo Domingo. So that's where I went, and it took me 4 hours to get there. My appointment was like an hour, and I made a huge trip and came right back home. You could do that too. I'm not interested in Santo Domingo at all. It reminds me too much of Toronto. And I love Toronto, and I'm a big city chick. But now coming here to Sosua and living in Sosua for almost 3 years, like just in the Dominican, like the beach coastlines, I realize I can live in the small towns. It's difficult with the gossiping at times, and the people that come here and try to pretend that there's something that they're not. You know what I mean? For me, it's hard to escape that. I came here and I have to be who I am, because everybody around the world that knows me in Canada, America, Cuba even, everyone knows me. And my name's Cerise Fairfax all over social media and everything, so I'm not trying to come here to pretend I'm something that I'm not. This is who I am, and everybody knows. I just keep it real. But there are a lot of people that will come here, foreigners, and sometimes in a small town, they will try to make it better for themselves and worse for others. But that's an experience that you're just going to have to go through if you're a social person, and it's okay. You'll learn the worms, the snakes, and then you'll learn the birds and the bees. Like I don't mean birds and bees literally, like as in birds and the bees, sexual. But I mean people that are like nature, natural, you know, birds that, you know, are around you and that can help you out. So that I have noticed in a small town, people do talk a lot, and sometimes they don't mean it. Even in Los Chiramicos, my favorite place, I went for a surgery, and like a small surgery. I keep calling it surgery because that's what they call it here. It's minor surgery. It was just going to get a little cyst lanced, but I had to do it in the hospital. And it got around my neighborhood, and you know, everyone was worried for me though. They were like, "Todo bien?" They didn't tell me that they knew, but they just, "Everything good? Do you need anything?" And then, you know, people were calling me, "Do you need anything to eat? Do you need me to come to your house to clean?" And, you know, offering very beautiful things. So, I mean, that was innocent, you know, gossip. But, and I don't mind that so much. But there are your animals around here that will try to get all up on your back. And you got to just, you know, push them away and have that mental strength. But aside from that, there are a lot of beautiful foreigners that come here and they keep it real. And I would say 99% of the people that I know and knock it with, I don't mean knock boots, but kick it with, it's real deal Holyfield. It is a real connection. We help each other. We give each other tips. And that's one thing I can say as well. Once you get here and your boots are on the ground and your feet are taken off running, you're going to meet a lot of people that are willing to give you information, their experiences, and they'll be straightforward with it. Okay? I don't know right else now off the top of my head. Tomorrow I have my Sosua Sunday, and I'm going to be down on the beach. But I don't know where I'm going to be out on the beach, and I don't know who I'm going to be speaking to on... Sorry, I thought I had a bug here. I don't know who I'm going to be speaking to on the beach. Every Sunday is going to be different. I try not to plan the Sundays. I just want you guys to see what Playa Sosua is like, just impromptu. You know, people will walk by me, they'll say hello, and we'll just flow with it, you know? If you guys have any special requests, if you guys know anybody that owns a restaurant, like one of your favorite people, let me know the number, let me know their name, send me their WhatsApp if you're that close to them, and I will go to their number on the beach. At first I was going to do a beach crawl and just start from one end of the beach and go to the other, but I decided that that's going to be a little difficult because that means I have to do so much research, like throughout the week, go to each restaurant and talk to each restaurant. And then it also takes a chore to ask them to turn their music down on a Sunday, because my intention is to promote Playa Sosua and the restaurants and the shops on Playa Sosua every week. And, you know, I mean, if I'm at their restaurant and there's a lot of music at the next restaurant, YouTube is not going to push that video if they have to share, if they can't monetize it. My videos are monetizable, and most of my videos do get monetized. And so YouTube will automatically, as soon as I put up a video, YouTube usually will monetize it almost immediately. They can tend to get a little pissed off if you put up content they don't like. You know, I put up one video a couple of weeks ago about a guy that took his whole family out, and they didn't push it and they didn't monetize it. And I was like, oh, that's interesting, you know, because they monetize my story times. So I don't know. But they told me, no, that one can't be monetized. And I don't know why. I guess it was just too traumatizing of a story. But aside from that, if I am at a place where there's too much music, sometimes they will tell me the music's not too loud, and if there's not too many words and you can't figure out the song too much, they'll tell me that I'm sharing the monetization rights. But you know, I mean, it's always a game. So I'm thinking that soon I'm just going to go more by the water, where there's less music, and I'll just, you know, do my videos from there. But that's where the dilemma is, because if I do it by the water, there's not going to be as many people, and then it's not going to be as exciting for you guys, because that's what I want. I want all of the videos to be exciting for you guys. I really do. I want you guys, those of you who love Sosua and you're missing it and you can't come right now, either because of the world issues or because of finances or just because of family and you cannot move, maybe work, you can't come here right now, I do want to offer you some excitement on the beaches where you might see someone pass by that you know. You know, I might be in a spot of the owner that you know. So I think that's always cool. I got a phone call the other day, a message the other day from somebody, an app delivering company. So I will be interviewing them. They asked me to promote their app for them on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to do a live to air, and they told me that they're delivered the food to me wherever I'm at. So I'm going to do a live to air, and then I'll show you guys that app. That's Wednesday. I haven't really done any meditation Mondays because my days have just been so busy. I keep saying I'm so busy, but I mean, I don't like saying that, really. I don't like saying I'm too busy, because you're never too busy for good people, you know? We could always make time, but really I just don't have a lot of time to make. So even with my videos, I haven't been on point. I want to do Monday meditations, and I wanted to do like Tuesday Streets of Sosua, Wednesday Cerise's Corner, Thursday story time, Friday Streets of Sosua, Saturday I wanted to do something else. I forget. I mean, I had a whole list. I changed up the order and everything. It's just, but tomorrow, Monday, I'm going to try to keep on pace, because I do like to do meditation Mondays. And meditation Mondays is just really where I'm just giving you a tip on how to get out of the bull crap in life. You know, just a little bit of soul coaching that I like to throw in there. But guys, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to cut out now because I always wait for my battery to run out or my data to run out, and it's always silly for me to do that, because I do want to give you a proper goodbye. Let me see, and I always do this too, so I always want to make sure that I answer all the questions. It is so beautiful out, Samuel says, it's so beautiful out there. It almost looks like you are in front of a blue screen. Oh, I know it is beautiful. Alvin Lewis in La Casa. Hey Cerise, I'm in Sosua. I will see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. just to say hi. Happy birthday to me. All right, Alvin, make sure you come on by. I don't know where I'm going to be, but WhatsApp me. And, or you just walk along the beach and you'll see me. I'll be starting right at around 2. Hey, Donald. Hey, Cerise. I walked away for a moment and came back to you talking about condos and investment opportunities. Where is the property, and is it a new build? Yes, there is a new build right here in Cabarete. It's a new opportunity. Message me on WhatsApp 829-702-7726, and I will forward you the link for the place itself. But also the land that's available is around that same place that I'm talking about. Beautiful. You guys can all message me. How far is Cabarete from Sosua? Also, I was thinking of working remote from Sosua. Is the Wi-Fi pretty good in the area? Yeah. Is my Wi-Fi pretty good right now? I forgot to ask you guys that. It is. A lot of people come here to work online. I work online as well. Eddie, ¿tú puedes ver mi canal de YouTube, por favor? Gracias. He looks like he's going to fall asleep. But yes, there is a lot of opportunity investments here. And wait, what was that question about Sosua? Yep, Sosua is, the Wi-Fi is good. Adano, Sosua is about a 20-minute ride from Cabarete. I think it's like 20 miles. You know what? You're right. You can, if you're on Motoconcho, you can get there in like about 15 minutes because you're going in and out of traffic, and bam, you're just there. I've gotten there before in like 12 minutes on my ex-boyfriend's moto that was just here, the other guy, Joel. But yeah, it's about no more than 20 minutes. And that would be on the Guagua, the public bus that stops every minute. And Jamil, always good to see you, Cerise. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, sweetheart. You as well. Black Belt Griff. I'm going to be there in April. I'm checking out Cabarete. All right, check it out. Let me know. I'll come out and visit you at Goddess Lounge. We can have a bite. Stargazer, can't wait to come there. Hi from France. Hi, Stargazer. My name is French, but we all know that. I say it every time. All right. What about mail there? Black Traction. There's not really a federal mailing system here that you can rely on, but you can get an EPS account even before you come. Just look up EPS Sosua. EPS, that's Edward, private, safe. And there's also CPS. And you can check those out online. What they do is they give you an American address. So when I order things online, like from Amazon and Wish.com, all around the world, I give my Miami address. It's just a mailbox, and they send it to that address, and then it takes, once it's there, it takes about 3 days to get here in the Dominican Republic. It really depends on what you're ordering and where you're ordering from. Wish.com is in China, and I order a lot from Wish.com. I just like little things, and if I don't like it, I give it away. I don't order too many expensive things online, just like different things. Off the top of my head, I couldn't even tell you right now. But it's worth it just to at least get a little account and see how it works. And I've never had a problem with things getting lost or anything like that. Hey Donald, I am coming down soon, hopefully in April. All right, you let me know. Do you know if POP Airport now has COVID testing on site? I don't think you need a COVID test coming into the country, but you do need a COVID test when you're leaving the country and for your own country. And I don't think they do on the spot in the airport any longer because you need the results back. But I do know that they do it for 4,000 pesos in Bornegel, Centro Medico, in Puerto Plata City, or in Sosua at CMC Hospital, one street over from behind Superpola. Traction. I hope they don't close the door. I'm in. Hurry. Call in. Hey Cerise, love these live stream videos. Thank you. I love them too. You guys are amazing. Traction. See. Traction. How do you get mail and packages from back home? Yep, EPS. Shaystar, how is the weather out there? It is amazing, Shaystar. I'm going to show you guys in a second a little bit of where I'm at. Traction, I use that for my business. Cool, thank you. You're welcome. Okay, guys, because I'm going to close out soon, I don't mind if this gets a little bit of foggy. Is it foggy? I'm asking him in English. Mi canal de YouTube is okay? Okay, guys, let me show you where I'm at for those of you who haven't been here before. So what I was telling you, across right over there, I don't know if you guys can see. Well, actually, here, let me turn the camera around. Hold on, let me get into the shade here. All right, there we go. So I can see what you guys are seeing now. So straight across there, if you guys can see all of the mountain ridge, that's a mountain view. And behind there are a lot of homes, land, not really, well, they're homes, like private Dominican homes, but there's not a lot of land in that area either. But behind, you can't get to it from there. You have to get to it from around the other end or around that end. Okay, now this is Goddess Lounge, where I'm at right now, also known by the locals here, called Piscina Pool Party. So if you are here and you're looking for a great place to come with wonderful prices, I would say come check this place out. The pool is free to swim in if you purchase something here. I'm not encouraging this, but on certain days you can actually bring your own bottle and drink over there, but you do have to get the Coca-Cola from here and the food. These are swings right here, and those swings are really nice for you to come and get pictures taken on. And then there's a swing over there as well, right by the beach. Let's go over by the beach. Sorry, I was just reading that sign. So the beach is coming up really far right now. It's winter time, but in the summertime, the water goes all the way over there a lot more. Here is an area where you can come and sit with your friends. And then there's another one over there that's just enclosed. I hope you guys can hear me with all the breeze going on. So these are all really good for you to come and sit on and just feel free, relax, bring your friends, bring your family. It's really, really good prices. So what I really love about this place, let me go back over here quickly so I know you guys can hear me. There's one of the owners right there. There's James. He's Trinidadian. I'm just gonna get him to wave. James, hola. So he also, you guys can put in a private, James, are you still doing private orders for cooking if somebody wants something? Are you still doing private orders for cooking if somebody wants something like curry crab?
Oh, no.
No.
When them dishes, I won't be here. I'm leaving on Tuesday.
Okay. Okay. All right. He's leaving on Tuesday. But that's okay. When you do come back, maybe some curry crab. He used to do some private orders for everyone, and that was so good. But here we have some. I just want to give you guys an idea. Thank you, James. I just want to give you guys an idea of like Thursday, for instance. You can come here on Thursday and you can get a big burrito. And I'm telling you, guacamole, they don't chimp on the guacamole or the pico de gallo or the cheese or the sour cream. You're going to get a really good, big, beefy burrito made right. You're also going to get 3 tacos right here, 200 pesos. Everything is so authentic. You can get nachos, and you can also get quesadillas, and you can also get alitas. Wings. Now they also have other things here as well on the other menu. Let me go show you it. Look at this plant. I love aloe vera. Let me show you the other menu. Now on Wednesdays, if you come on Wednesdays, there's a really good chicken wing deal. And you can get potato with it, salad with it, and chicken wings, and it's for 100 pesos. That's $2. You get like 8 pieces of chicken wings. Well, you get 4 chicken wings, but you break them up and it makes it 8. And then the salad is coleslaw, and it's made with currants and carrots. All right, so here, that one is Espanol. So here, you can get soups here, you can get sandwiches, you can get salads, you can get chicken, meats, kebabs, seafood, pasta, fish, mofongos, and desserts and side dishes. Now, mofongos, in case you guys don't know what that is, it's like a plantain, and you can get it mixed with different stuff. Chicken breast with cream, pork with sausage, conch, which is like, well, conch, you guys know conch. Some of you guys call it conch. But it's seafood, and you can also get shrimps and seafood. So here's the kitchen. Oh, there is the queen right there. We got the goddess in the house. That's Derek, everyone. Looks beautiful. You're welcome. She's great. If you guys come here, ask for her. She is lively. She's always here on the spot, hands on. So you guys can come here and watch some sports as well. There is Vilma. Vilma! Hola, baby! Hola, sweetheart! And then you guys can also come here. There's karaoke here on Saturday. No. Don't quote me. Cuando is karaoke? And you guys know Jeffrey. Karaoke is ¿qué día? Monday. ¿Qué hora? 3 p.m.
1 o'clock.
Oh, 1 o'clock. Okay, thank you. So Monday, you guys can come here and enjoy karaoke at 1 o'clock. And there's always a good music system going on here. If you guys have a big party of people, you can bring them, especially on a Wednesday when there's only 100 peso wings. Get here nice and early. It gets crowded and people order. Like me, I'll order 5 boxes to go because my dogs love the wings. I love the wings, and they're made in an oven, like an open oven. They're not fried. They're not deep fried. And then here we go. There's a couch over there, right? So let's turn back around. And I'm going to show you the oven that they use for outside to take for the wings. There's the oven right there. So it's oven cooked. I forget what that's called. Outdoor oven, let's just call it for now. But it's like stone oven or whatever. And look, there's the wood for it and everything. Every Wednesday come because it smells so good. Are the wings? I want to make sure there's still 100 pesos because I haven't been here for a while. Now remember, this is a family-friendly place. Children can come and hang out. They even have meals like French fries if you want to replace the beans and the rice. Always. There's also takeout if you guys want takeout. So, you know, just enjoy yourself when you come here. Wing Wednesday?
Yeah, wing Wednesdays.
Perfect. So Wing Wednesdays are still the same. And that's it. That's where I was sitting right now underneath the umbrella, nice and comfy. And yeah, I love it here. I hope my feed is not too choppy. But you were asking, Shay Star? Look at the weather today. Clear skies. Guys! Oh, you know what? The other day someone said to me, Cerise, you're so lucky. And I was like, thank you. And I hear that all the time. But then they're like, no, Cerise, you are lucky. And then they broke it down for me. They're like, you are where everybody wants to be and where they're trying to get back to if they've already been there. And I was like, ah. And then all of a sudden I got extra grateful about being here. And I think that's what also encouraged me to do a lot of my live to airs as well, because you guys like to see what you love. Or you guys love to see what you love. So there we go. Alrighty guys, so I am looking forward to reaching out to you when you contact me. Please don't feel bad if I don't get back to you the same day. Some of you guys you know, get a little testy when you get back to me, and I understand that because you want your answers right away, but you've got to realize that 24-hour, 48-hour period, and I will get back to you. If I don't get back to you, make sure you hit me back up. You are not bothering me at all. I appreciate it when you hit me back. Like yesterday, I had someone contact me, and he's like, Cerise, I contacted you about a house in ProCab, and you didn't get back to me. And I got back to him. I'm like, thank you. His message got buried under 200 other messages. And, you know, I was supposed to get back to him. So it's not me ignoring you guys. It's me just needing an assistant. But I'm a little reluctant to get one because when you guys do rent apartments from me, you guys give me a lot of information about yourself. You guys tell me what your budget is. I don't want other people dealing with your personal information. And a lot of you guys send me transfers at, you know, Western Union and places like that, and, you know, Caribbean Express, and your full name and everything and how much you're sending. I don't want people handling your money. I don't want people handling your information. So I do have to sacrifice and do everything on my own when it comes to being my own secretary. I don't mind that so much because you guys, most of you guys, 90% of you guys are really easy on me, and I appreciate that so much. But again, if I don't get back to you within 48 hours, hit me back up. Don't get angry, because then that just makes me not want to work with you at all. This is peace out here. And when I notice that you're coming at me with that mentality, I'm like, well, you can just go elsewhere. And that hood does come out of me, and I will be like, I am not your employee. I am your friend. I am your sister. I am your confidant. I am everything you need here while you're not here or while you are here. But I'm not your enemy. And I don't want you to treat me like that if you don't hear from me in time. Just give me love. I give you love. Give me love, okay? And be patient, because all of you are going to get out here. All of you guys are going to get good deals. Just get out here as soon as you can. Remember, the good deals are always going to be here. I predict that there's going to be a housing crash around the world. And especially in Toronto, like, houses are going for an astronomical price, and it's ridiculous to be asking for that much. I heard that there's a surge in prices as well in areas that other people wouldn't even live in before I moved out of there myself. So, you know, there's going to be a housing market crash around the world. So just sit back, relax, and put your pennies where they're supposed to be. Save, 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 and get down here as soon as you can. Alrighty, guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for taking the time to subscribe, for taking the time to like my videos, and for taking the time to watch and share and like, and also for taking the time to reach out to me on WhatsApp. My number is 829-702-7726. I love you guys. I'm going to do some more live to air story times. Let me know how you like the live to air ones, and I'll do more. Take care. Mwah. I love you.